So I did not want to be an international sales vice president when I grew up. I wanted to be a foreign policy professor. That was my first passion. So after graduating university, I entered a PhD, a doctorate program in foreign policy at the University of Virginia. And Philippe, about halfway through that program, I received two interesting offers. One was from the Reagan White House, so I guess I'm telling you a little bit how old I am, for a foreign policy internship, which I'm sure you can imagine was a prize for a young graduate student. But the other was from my father and my cousin to enter what was a third-generation family business, manufacturing, started by my great-grandfather in 1888, manufacturing what we call bulletproof vests. So as compelling as that White House offer was and continuing my studies, taking the baton in the fourth generation in that business was overwhelming for me. Now this, hopefully we'll talk a little bit more about this later on, because Philippe, I would spend the next 10 years starting in that business and later moving on to a multinational, focusing on sales in the US markets.
And what kind of training did you have for this new business for you? How much were you prepared for working internationally?
Well, what happened, Philippe, is after 10 years focusing on the US marketplace, US military, US law enforcement, what we think of as low risk, high integrity, strong institutions of state, an organized civil service, I get the offer in 1997 because the company wants to do what a lot of companies want to do. They want to invest in lucrative growth, the overseas markets. So they were going to hire a vice president of international sales, which I thought was very compelling. So I was fusing together my academic background and my sales experience. So in 1997, I take the role as the vice president of international sales of this large publicly traded manufacturer of a wide portfolio of defense products. So Philippe, what training did I have? Well, before I took my first flight, and I would spend the next 10 years overseas around 250 days a year, part-time residing out of the United Kingdom, the company said, here is the FCPA. Study it, understand it, and if you don't understand it, we'll get you resources to help you. Now, in 1997, that was probably a reasonable compliance program, right?
Yes, probably.
Now, I didn't need any resources. I understood conspiring or bribing a foreign official to gain or retain business was illegal. And so I start traveling the world, and I'm going to develop a network of agents, what we've been talking about today, intermediaries, agents, distributors. That was going to be my route to developing the market.